Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of Neurodiverse Wrestling Obsessed. I'm your host, Arroyo, and boy, was SmackDown before Crown Jewel just crazy. We had a lot of stuff happening, a lot of big returns, a shocking ending that could lead into a new faction. So let's get right into it. So we opened the show with Cody Rhodes kicking it off, talking about Seth, talking all about how Seth wants this win so bad, but Cody doesn't really care. Till Heyman points out they have similarities. Now, Cody's like, yes. Now I feel like this is something to be thinking about. Not just that, but he's not worried because he knows that Seth is insecure. Because ever since CM Punk came back, ever since Cody's been on his rise, Seth has been insecure and he's been using Heyman and Division to pretty much protect his ego. And he says he will be Seth's Achilles heel headed into Crown Jewel. So we have to see how that all plays out. And then backstage, we had Chelsea Green try to recruit Stephanie Vaquer for her cabinet. She's like, I love what you do, Stephanie. You have a little bit of that sazon. Like, I want to work with you. And Tiffany, don't mind her, because at Crown Jewel, she's going to lose, just like her outfits are not that great. Tiffany walks in, Chelsea Green leaves. Stephanie says to Tiffany, we're going to work together tonight to take down Julia and Kiana James from last week from them sneak attacking and kind of ruining her contract signing. But after that, at Crown Jewel, we would deal with this one-on-one. So we kind of see that during the match, and tension brews after the match as well. Then backstage, Cody Rhodes is walking. Jake F2 tells Cody after Crown Jewel he's the next person in line because he's going to make himself the next person in line for the title. Cody says, okay, I can't wait to see that. And then, Jake F2 is talking to Adam Pearce. Like, Adam Pearce is like, okay, I can see what I can do. Out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre attacks him. And then later in the show, Drew McIntyre gets interviewed and he gets attacked by Reed. Pretty much the whole night, both of them was fighting backstage. So I cannot wait to see how that all plays out. And then we got two returns in one match. So we had Sami's Zayn do a US Open challenge. And guys, Shinsuke Nakamura is back. Finally, Shinsuke is back. Where the hell has Shinsuke been? Where the hell has my boy Shinsuke been? And he came back better than ever. I like his new gear. The back and forth, the Joshi style wrestling mixed with the kicks in the strong style. Like, Shinsuke looked better than ever. Hitting Achilles Kinshasa to the back of Sami's head. Sami hitting Blue Thunder bombs. Back and forth. Both men are knocked out. And almost at the end, Sami is about to pick up the win. And then Shinsuke is about to pick up the win. Really close back and forth. But I don't know, when my family tree storms in with new face paint, new look, Tama is back, so all the Tonga brothers are back, pretty much destroying, Solo shows up, pretty much wanting his US title back, so he will do anything to get it back, even destroying the division. And we will see the family tree later in the show as well. So then we get the women's tag match with Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton versus Julia and Kiana James. I felt like this match wasn't needed for the build-up for Crown Jewel. You could have just had maybe, I don't know, Stephanie versus Chelsea Green or something, but okay, get the champions on the show. At least they're trying to put Kiana and Julia something. Kiana tries to recruit. Stephanie Vaquer backfires. Great back and forth with Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. Tiffany puts in really good moves against Kiana James. Kiana James is kind of getting better in the ring, but I feel like because she just came back, she is still a little rusty. But at the end, Vaquer and Tiffany picks up the win. And then after, they both look at the Crown Jewel Championship. That is a championship that will only never get defended, only earned. Kind of conflicted. I feel like this is going to be a good match, but that's the issue that we're having currently with the women's division on WWE. Really good stars, really good matches, but storyline-wise, booking, not the best. Hopefully, after Crown Jewel, we can get some pretty good storylines cooking. And then backstage, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte walks to Seoul and Zarya, because Zarya is Australian and Perk, so she's in her home land. And Alexa and Shirley's like, we took it into consideration last week after you beat the Secret Service. We are maybe thinking of giving you a title opportunity. Zoria and Soul says, bet. Alexa says, yes, but just to let you know, we don't play nice. Everyone walks away. Zoria and Soul kind of walk, but they're not in unison. Same thing with Alexa and Charlotte walk in two different directions. So pretty much the storyline is what tag team is actually gonna get along? Because each tag team is gonna get along, but at the same time, not 100%. So we have to see how that all plays out in the ring. Then we get the Wyatt Sicks with the Street Profits with B-Fab by ringside. Street Profits came in swinging, flying, taking out the Wyatt Sicks, but Dexter and Gracie dominated, but Dawkins on the outside with a killer shoving elbow, throwing both men over the barricade, and then back in the ring, a killer multi-man spot with Montez flying onto Wyatt Sicks, pretty much hitting a crossbody, taking out all men. But at the end, chaos happens because Nikki Cross tries to interfere. B-Fab takes out Nikki Cross. Rowan shows up out of nowhere. Montez takes out Rowan. B-Fab cheers Montez, but then Cross pretty much beats the hell out of B-Fab, back in the ring, back and forth. But Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis wins with the overpowering of the help of Nikki Cross and Rowan. After, when they're celebrating, the lights go off, Match Family Tree shows up, a showdown. Everyone is staring down with someone. And it's funny because somehow Uncle Howdy's not there. Solo is facing off against Nikki Cross. And Nikki Cross gets in Solo's face. I like the feud, but where is Uncle Howdy? Because it's like, is Nikki Cross gonna fight in this feud match? The only opponent I can see Nikki Cross going head-to-head with is Tamakonga, the ya guy. So that would be funny. But this is good. Both teams are really dominant, and I cannot wait. I'm surprised Uncle Howdy wasn't there. Bo Dallas, hopefully he comes back next week because he wasn't there by ringside, so hopefully that means something. But it's a really interesting storyline. As well as they're going after Sami Zayn, so like, what the hell did this mean for the US title? And then backstage, Miz says why he attacks Mello. He says, every single time I try to bring someone up, they take me down. Not this time, because I'm the legend, I'm the icon, the Miz. I am WWE. So for someone like Mello that I so-called helped build up to just take the opportunity without me, I needed to take him out of my spotlight. So we need to see what Mello does after Crown Jewel. And finally, Mello's getting a storyline against The Miz. Hopefully this pushes Mello more up into the mid-card or main roster, the main title picture. And then we get my favorite match of the night, the last man standing match with Damian Priest and Aleister Black. Pure violence. Damian Priest ran away with the kendo stick, Black with some killer kicks. Steel stairs was in play. Damian Priest and Aleister Black had a kendo stick battle on the top rope. Like, that was some like Mortal Kombat, like, I don't know, like some like Street Fighter level stuff, picking up, you know, in the video game Street Fighter when you pick up items, yeah. So Damian Priest is about to do Dead Man walking with a kendo stick, and then Black fights him back, and then Black kicks him, and so Damian flies out the ring. Damian hits a Razor Edge on the announce table, also in the crowd, out of table, and then out of nowhere, Zelina Vega pops out of the crowd, like out of nowhere, begging Damian not to destroy Priest. She kind of hands Priest something behind his back. So I'm like, okay, she handed Damian Priest like black mist or like powder. No, she hands him a lighter, and Aleister Black burns the hell out of Damian Priest's face for the win, and Black Max kicks him after burning his face off. I loved it. Vega's finally in the storyline. I've been saying for a while, they need to do something with Aleister Black, have Vega join him because Vega ain't doing nothing. And hey, we could get it on our faction, because if we had Vega as a manager, Black, maybe Black recruits one or two more people, this can be a really good faction. And what did this mean? Is Damian Priest going to have backup? Because if that's backup, who would his backup be? Because the only person I know would be Rhea. But Rhea's doing something. So hopefully this starts something. Could the feud, I thought it was going to end here. No, it's continuing and I'm happy. Black and Priest will continue the feud. Hopefully this feud lasts until almost WrestleMania or WrestleMania time because I feel like you could really cook it. Because now adding Vega to the match, you could really build the storyline deeper and more. So that's pretty much my review of SmackDown. It was crazy, wild. We had multiple returns. We had Vega. We had Shinsuke Nakamura. We had Tama Tonga back. Like, we have a lot of superstars finally getting back on TV. So we need to see what happens. And finally, we're getting a storyline with Wyatt Sicks where all Wyatt Sicks members can actually participate in the storyline against my family tree. So let's see how this works. And I cannot wait. I already did my predictions with Crowd Drew earlier today, so hopefully you guys check it out. And I'll see you guys next time.